Why are some brands crushing it with minimal content while others are posting nonstop and getting nowhere? Being a successful brand is not about how much you post or even being on every single platform. And it's definitely not who has the biggest budget. It goes without saying that the internet is noisier than it's ever been, and AI has made content creation accessible to everyone. So the brands that are still trying to win through sheer volume are already losing. So, what separates brands that break through while the other ones just get lost in the noise? The answer is strategy. And today I'm breaking down why strategy has become the only competitive advantage that actually matters in digital marketing and what that means for how you should be showing up in 2026. The role that strategy plays in digital marketing has fundamentally shifted in 2026, and most brands haven't caught up yet. They're still operating like it's 2019, thinking that if you just create enough content, post consistently, and show up on enough platforms, eventually success will follow. But the thing is that the internet is not getting any quieter, and the tools needed to create content have never been more accessible than they are today, which means that everyone is doing digital marketing right now. Your competitors, your neighbor's startup, they all have Canva and ChatGPT now. So let me be crystal clear about what I mean when I say strategy, because I think this word gets thrown out a lot and people don't really understand it. Strategy is not about posting content or running ads or simply being consistent on social media. Strategy is the foundational framework that connects who you're trying to reach, what transformation you're offering them, how you'll consistently deliver that message across channels, and why someone should choose you over countless alternatives. It's the difference between doing digital marketing and doing digital marketing that actually works. And I'm going to show you exactly why this matters more now than ever before. Section 1, the noise problem. Every day there's more and more content uploaded to the internet. But most brands go catastrophically wrong with their digital marketing when they think that the solution is post more content, be on more platforms, and post more often. They see all this noise and they think, we need to be louder, we need to put more out there. But that's actually chaos and comes off as desperation. That is not strategy. And it leads to this exhausting cycle where marketing teams are burned out, budgets are stretched thin, and despite all of that effort, nothing is really moving the needle, which should be the goal here. Real strategy means making deliberate choices on three things. First, where to focus your energy. You can't win everywhere. Strategic brands identify one or two platforms where their audience actually interacts with them deeply. They don't just scroll, but they actually engage and they convert. And strategic brands dominate these channels rather than stretch themselves out too thin by being on every single platform. Second, what story you're consistently telling. Without a strategic narrative, your content feels random, and people don't remember random. They might remember you for that one viral video, but beyond that, who are you? People remember brands that stand for something and say it repeatedly in fresh ways, not the same post over and over again. Say, for example, if you have a viral post and you want to continue having more viral posts, you might be inclined to make that post time and time again. But instead of doing that, you need to focus on having the same core message expressed through different angles, formats, and stories. Take a moment to think about the brands that you actually remember. They have a clear point of view. You know what they believe and you know what they're about. That doesn't happen by accident. That's what strategy looks like. Third, how you're building for the long game. Strategy means thinking beyond this week's post and even this month's campaign. It's about building owned channels like email lists and communities so you're not completely dependent on algorithm changes that could tank your reach overnight. Creating content that compounds over time. Evergreen content, SEO driven content, content that keeps working for you for months or even years after you publish it. And designing customer journeys that turn strangers into advocates, not just one-time customers, but people who genuinely believe in what you're building and they tell others about it. This is what separates brands that scale sustainably from brands that are constantly fighting to stay afloat. If you're ready to stop guessing and start strategizing, subscribe for insights on building brands that actually matter. Moving on to section 2, the AI shift. Okay, we have to talk about AI. The paradigm shift that most people miss is that AI has democratized execution, which means that strategy is now your only real competitive advantage. Let me explain what I mean by that. 5 years ago, if you wanted to run a sophisticated digital marketing operation, you needed a content team that writes posts and scripts, designer for graphics and branding, video editors, email marketing specialists, ad specialists who understood platform algorithms, and data analysts to interpret your metrics. that required a massive team or a massive budget or both. Today, all you need is a solopreneur with the right AI tools that can execute at a level that would have required a 10-person team just 5 years ago. The barrier to execution has completely collapsed. So, if everyone can execute at a high level now, what actually sets you apart? That's strategy and vision, the human decisions that AI cannot make. So the smartest brands are using AI and strategy together to test and learn faster. Instead of debating for weeks which message will resonate, they run multiple variations, let AI analyze what's working, then double down strategically on the winners. They're compressing learning cycles from months to days or even hours. AI can customize content for different audience segments, adjust messaging based on user behavior, and deliver personalized experience to thousands of people simultaneously. But you still get to decide which segments actually matter to your business. You decide what personalized experiences serve your brand goals rather than just what's noise. Strategy means knowing when personalization adds more value or when consistency is more powerful. Let AI handle your content repurposing, turning your long form video into shorts, blog posts, emails, and you can also let it handle the performance reporting like A/B testing and optimization. That frees up your time so you can focus on big picture decisions. The bottom line is that AI is a powerful tool, that goes without saying. But strategy is what tells a tool what to build. Without strategy, AI just helps you create noise faster. Section 3, what strategy actually looks like. So, what does a strong digital marketing strategy actually include in 2026? Because I don't want this to be just conceptual. I want you walking away from this video knowing exactly what you need. Number one, a clear positioning framework. Who are you for? Not everyone. Be specific about who you want to serve. What problem do you solve better than anyone? And what's your unfair advantage? And you need to answer these questions strategically, not generically. We help businesses grow is not positioning. Number two, an audience first content strategy. It's not what should we post this week, but rather what does our audience need to feel, believe, or understand at each stage of the journey with us. Map your content to the customer journey. Awareness content looks different from consideration content, which looks different from decision content, which looks different than advocacy content. Most brands just create random pieces of content and hope that it works. Strategic brands engineer their content ecosystem to the customer journey. Number three, channel prioritization based on data, not trends. Just because everyone's talking about a platform does not mean that you need to be on there. Strategy means choosing a platform based on where your audience actually converts. I cannot tell you how many B2B brands I see wasting months on TikTok because it's trendy when all their buyers are actually on LinkedIn. Or D2C brands ignoring Pinterest when their target demographic is actively shopping there. Do the research, test strategically, then commit. Number four, a community building plan, not just follower growth plan. Followers is what's called a vanity metric, and community is currency in today's day and age. Strategic brands design experiences that turn casual audiences into invested communities. That might look like a Discord server, a private podcast feed, or maybe even exclusive or early access. Whatever creates genuine connection with your audience. Because community members buy more, stay longer, and they bring others with them. The brands that win in 2026 are not the brands with the biggest budget or the most content. They're the ones with the clearest strategy. They know exactly who they serve and they show up with purpose, not panic. And they build relationships. They don't just reach people. In 2026, everyone has access to the same tools, platforms, and AI capabilities. Strategy is what separates brands that people remember from the ones that people just scroll past. So here's a challenge for you. Ask yourself and answer honestly. Are you doing digital marketing or are you strategically leveraging digital marketing to build something that lasts? If this shifted how you think about strategy, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want more insights on building brands that actually make a difference in a digital world, go ahead and subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.